Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Remembrancers Library podcast. I'm Vincent.
And I'm Ethan.
Welcome back. Did I say that already?
You did say welcome back,
I did say
but
that
you can
already.
welcome back people as many times as you want them to be welcomed back.
Okay, let's start a tally then. Welcome back, welcome back. Anyways, not going to do that, actually.
No. We're continuing with our Primarch series, so this is going to be Lorgar.
Yes.
And this is going to be a shorter episode. It might be a lot shorter than we're used to. It just we'll just see how the information goes out, because Lorgar is the first Primarch to fall to Chaos. He's actually one of the good ones that fall to Chaos. He falls to Chaos Undivided.
Right.
Who are basically just all of the Chaos Gods, so you don't get any of the bad attributes of the
Any
Chaos
one
God.
particular.
Yeah.
Just the good of all of them.
Just the good of all of them,
Okay.
exactly, yeah.
Cool.
First Primarch to fall to Chaos, we'll be talking about that later on.
So yeah, I'm guessing that we'll have more to talk about when we get to the heresy stuff, because all of his important stuff is there.
Yeah, and
Makes
it's good.
sense.
It's a good thing to have all of that be a part of the heresy, because then it's like, oh, I see why he got Horus to fall to Chaos.
Yes.
Even though he didn't, it was Erebus.
So, Lorgar. What's his deal?
He sucks. No, so Lorgar is the Primarch of the 17th Legion.
Right.
The 14th Primarch to be discovered.
Okay.
Which puts us at T-4 Primarchs until we're done.
Yes.
He's kind of like a priest.
Okay.
He's weird like that. But we'll get into that when we talk about his early years and stuff like that. But he's one of the stranger Primarchs, to be real, because he kind of gets away with a lot.
Okay.
He gets away with a lot of stuff. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So he comes from a world called Cloakis.
Okay.
Or Closhis or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's some
Fair enough.
weird, strange word that Games Workshop has come up with. But anyway,
not like they've not come up with any of the other weird words that we've been.
No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Mutarian, Angron, Gilliman, Baal. Yeah, Baal.
What was his place like?
It was a dry, unforgiving world. It's a desert world. Like think of it kind of like Israel.
Okay.
Is like, and I know it's kind of rough to bring that up, but I mean like how it's mentioned in the Bible.
Oh,
of like kind of like a city of like kind of like like Cloakis is just all desert all the time.
Right.
Jerusalem. I'm thinking of Jerusalem, not Israel. I'm thinking think Jerusalem, like how Jerusalem is explained and stuff like that. It's like a lot of the cities were like built around where the water's going to be, like where they can grow the food, grow the crops, all that sort of stuff. And then everything else is just desert mountains, desert plains, like desert sands, all of it. That's all of Cloakless.
It's just sand.
Just sand.
A Skywalker's worst nightmare.
A Skywalker's worst nightmare, because it's coarse and it gets everywhere. The only thing that broke them up, like mountain ranges.
Okay.
So a lot of the military bases would be in those mountain ranges, because the mountains are easily defensible.
Exactly.
You can build a fortress into it that you can't bomb it from on high.
Yes.
Because you have a mountain above you. You'd have to raise a mountain to get to the fortresses.
Exactly.
That's where a lot of all of their military stuff was, but also a lot of their ancient temples.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What can you build out of sand?
Sandstone.
True. True. Okay. Yeah. No. That's
a sandstorm.
Yes. That's.
Yeah. And because of this, it's so weird. It's such a weird planet to talk about. Like, because when I was looking at it, it's like a cross between like Jerusalem and like ancient Mesopotamia. Cloaklis doesn't have their Jerusalem on the planet. Their Jerusalem is on a different planet.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's like Egypt, but it's not. But it is like Egypt, but it's not. But it's like ancient Mesopotamia, but it's not. It's like all of these like old civilization places all put together. So like my notes are all
like
over the
all,
place
like,
about it.
Put together and then like take away half sort of thing.
Exactly. Like so it's a lot of like oasis. It's like a lot of oases in like surrounded by fertile land.
Right.
And then they build their settlements there.
Right.
But then the rest of it is just like desert.
Okay. So it's literally they just kind of live where they can because they can't live anywhere else.
Exactly, yeah. Think of like the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Where like a lot of Greece. Think of Greece, where a lot of the stuff is built on the coastline and stuff like that. Because that's mainly where it is.
There's no
Except there's
water.
no coastline and all the water is in these oases, like well areas kind of thing.
All right, I got the picture.
Yeah. So another thing of that is like the planet's skies were almost always hazy.
Okay.
So it's like the sunsets were like super deep and crimsony red colors.
Yep.
And like because of that, they saw it as like a desire, like a divine sign, like like the sun is red, it's divine kind of thing.
Okay. Every single night.
Every single night, yeah.
Okay.
Every single day.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, because of this, the people of Cloakless were extremely devout, faithfully.
Okay.
And this is like a lot of the information that I focused on, which is why the description of the planet and its things is so mismatched. Sorry about that, by the way, everyone at home. I know I sound like an idiot right now, but it was really hard to like not be like, oh, I want to look at the religion part. And so I'm doing the bad faith on my research part with this one. Oh, but I was also in a rush because I have a lot of stuff to do at college.
That is fair. That is fair. College takes the
cake. Yeah, it takes a lot. Yeah. Anyway, looking at the people.
Yes.
The people followed 4 gods.
Okay.
They followed chaos-ish.
All right.
So like they had like their temples to their gods and stuff like that, but they didn't really follow chaos in a bad way. Okay. They had these 4 gods which were like. It's implied that they're chaos gods. It's implied that it's Nurgle, Tzeentch, I was about to say Angeron. It's implied that it's like Nurgle, Tzeentch, Khorne, and Slaanesh.
Yeah.
It's implied that it's them, but they don't follow them like everybody else does.
Okay.
Like they follow them as more of what they represent and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Slaanesh is like, kind of like, excess and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like more of a warning kind of thing of like, oh, like if we follow Slaanesh, then we won't fall to the whims of excess and all those sorts of things. Like Nurgle is like his whole thing is like birth and re-death and everything like that.
So if we follow them to a degree, then we won't get overtaken by
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
So they're like microdosing on
chaos, but it's also like they're not being corrupted by chaos at the same time, which is a strange thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is weird.
It's kind of like they worship the chaos gods as a concept, not as actual gods, kind of thing.
It's metaphors.
It's metaphors, exactly. Yeah. So because of that, they're extremely devout. They have churches to these 4 gods all across the planet, all around these areas that we've discussed and everything. And like when I say they're extremely devout, they are like extremely devout.
Okay.
They're like they live by the messages that these gods are trying to tell them.
Like to a T.
To the best that they can. Think like early Christianity, where it's like, oh, the word of God is law.
Yeah.
A Lorgar. But like, and that's the thing is like the word of these gods is the law, and this is how we need to follow them. That's how they view these gods and everything like that.
Okay.
So now we get to the fun part. Lorgar turns up.
Yes.
He comes down.
Comes down on Cloakless.
He comes down on Cloakless, yes. And he is discovered by a guy named Cor Phaeron.
Okay.
And Cor Phaeron is a bit of a douche.
Oh, no.
And I mean that in the nicest way possible of the way you could just explain Cor Phaeron.
Like calling him a douche is mean to douches?
Kind of, yeah. Because Cor Phaeron is a high-ranking priest of one of the most high-ranking religious orders.
Okay.
So he's like the high-ranking of the high-ranking. Think of it like that. Cor Phaeron discovers Lorgar, and he's like, a child from the heavens. Imagine how powerful I could become. How much people would follow me and my word as a priest if I was raising a child from the heavens.
Right.
So he starts raising Lorgar and indoctrinating him into his beliefs and all that sort of stuff. And Lorgar starts like doing his faithful part and, listening to his dad, reading his Bibles, reading his sacred texts, doing all this stuff, growing as a Primarch does, learning from his religion. And Lorgar becomes extremely devout. Like he becomes wonderfully devout to these religions and stuff like that. But he does something that religions don't like.
Of course.
He starts to question the gods.
Oh, no.
Because he sees it and he goes, if there's 4 gods, they all can't have the same power. There has to be one god above them. Right. I wonder who that is. And we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
So Lorgar, he starts growing, he starts getting his faith and everything like that. And he starts to and he has this amazing charisma.
Yeah.
He's like, think of like, oh, we had like Old Testament religion now, and now we're getting into like gospel religion.
Right.
Like that kind of energy. And he's not like, you know, being like, feel the power of God within you. No, it's not like, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing kind of like that. He's very much like a thing of like, hey, like, God's kind of cool, and everyone's like, yeah, no, God's awesome. So he just has this natural charisma that everyone kind of like follows.
He's low-key about it, but that's what's powerful about it, is that he's low-key about it.
Exactly. He's just like, hey, look, the gods love you. I love you.
Yeah.
All compassion, all love, no fear.
Yeah.
That's one of his biggest things. And people started to see him as a prophet.
Oh.
And they started to see him as a prophet.
Okay.
And this is roughly around the time that Corferon started to verbally abuse and berate Lorgar for what he was doing.
That's not nice.
No, not at all. He was kind of doing, you know, gaslight, gatekeep Corferon kind of thing. Where he was like, oh, I raised you and, you know, you're doing all of this. And like, do you have no love for me, the man that taught you your religion, who put you into the position that you are now?
Yeah.
He started to kind of do that. Lorgar becomes extremely doubtful in himself.
Okay.
And he just like, kind of is just like, yeah, no, like, but his compassion and like his approachableness kind of gives him that, kind of aids to that prophet thing of like, no, like, I'm not a prophet.
Okay.
I'm just a man. And like, and everyone's like, you must be a prophet. Like, and that's the thing. And he just becomes, and like people start following him more and more.
Right.
And because this Corferon becomes more and more jealous. And so, but that's the other thing. And that's the other thing as well, is like Lorgar still has great appreciation for his father.
Right.
Corferon is being like this massive, he's just being this massive like jerk to Lorgar.
Yeah.
But Lorgar still loves him nonetheless. Because of that, Lorgar sees Corferon as his greatest like advisor.
Right.
So Lorgar eventually surpasses Corferon.
Oh no, the child from the heavens is becoming more powerful than me, who's just a dude who says the word of the gods.
Exactly, but he keeps going...
I couldn't have seen this coming.
Exactly, but he keeps going back to Corferon, and he's like, hey, I need guidance. I need you to tell me what to do here.
Right.
So Corferon never really stops leading the people.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's just now doing it through Lorgar?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then... that's another thing that happens, is a wonderful little thing called Civil War erupts on Cloakless. And rival faiths are basically being like, yeah, no, Lorgar, like his visions, everything that he's seeing, like everything that he's preaching, all of that stuff that he's saying, it's just untrue. Like, it doesn't follow our belief in our version of the gods and everything like that. So they just go to war. Even though Lorgar's very much like, no, peace, man, peace, like, you know, chill out, you know, peace and love, man, peace and love. He leads his followers in battle, and he leads them to victory. In doing so, he restores peace on Cloakless, and he becomes,
as the good little Primarch he is,
he becomes the ruler of Cloakless.
Well, that was quick.
And stuff happens surprisingly quick when it comes to religion.
Yeah, that's fair.
And at this point, remember that thing I told you a little bit earlier about him seeing that there's like one God above them?
Yeah.
He starts preaching the word of the one God.
Okay.
And he's like, these four gods, like, yes, they're powerful and they're good, but there has to be one God above them all.
Right.
There has to be one that is the God of gods. Exactly. Yeah. So they start praying, they start going and doing all of their religious stuff.
And they're just assuming that there's one and just praying to this one that they don't really know about?
Yes. And they're like, eventually he will come. And Lorgar's like, I have visions. I'm seeing something. Eventually this one God will come.
Okay.
This one God will arrive soon. And he will be here. And he will lead us into enlightenment. He will lead us into what we are to be.
Okay.
And then the Emperor shows up.
Oh, could not have seen that coming. Like, I kid you not, like 45 seconds ago, I was like, oh,
it's the Emperor.
I see where this is going. Yeah. It's the Emperor.
He's the most devout. It's going to be the Emperor. It's the Emperor, isn't it? All right, Jag. Oh, yeah. That kind of thing, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, Lorgar, like, his prophecy is essentially fulfilled because the Emperor shows up.
Right. Because he's been saying this guy's going to come, and then the guy shows up. Okay, well, now what's Lorgar going to do?
And that's the thing, though, is like, you remember how the Emperor's explained when, like, he's coming to different planets and stuff like that.
Like, he looks like he's a straight-up god.
He looks like
coming down from
like
the
he
heavens.
has this like ethereal golden glow to him. Like,
yeah.
You can't quite look directly at him because you don't feel like you're worthy of looking at him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's even a thing where, like, they say that, like, when what is it? Comrade Kurz.
Yeah.
When the people on his planet look upon the Emperor,
they literally could not see anymore after that. They were literally blinded.
Yeah, the Emperor burns out their retinas and burns out their eyes and stuff like that. And the last thing they see is the vision of the Emperor and stuff like that. So it's hard to think. It's hard to not see why they think he's a god.
Yeah.
Which he might be. That's a theory for another day. A game theory. But that's the thing. Like, and that's the thing is, like, immediately upon seeing him, Lorgar was like, God is real.
He's right here.
I told you so. Look, it's the Lord. When the Emperor came up to Lorgar and was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm your dad." He was like, "Oh, great Lord," and like immediately kneeled before him and was like, "Oh, I whatever you're selling, I'm buying."
Yeah.
He immediately was like, "I pledge my word to you."
I don't even care that you're my father.
Exactly.
Whatever. You're just the god.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah. So after this. Oh, and that's the other thing as well. This is the really funny thing.
Yeah.
Is the Emperor's like, "Oh, I'm not a god. I'm just a man. I'm a man just like you, who is 10 feet tall, glows like a golden god, and is stronger than any other being in the universe. But I'm a god just like you. I mean, I'm a man just like you, and I don't want to be followed as a god."
Right. Just as the one man to rule everybody.
Yeah. And then Lorgar's like, "Okay, so God." So what's your divine truth for me, God? And he's, "Stop calling me a god. Stop seeing me as a god."
Yeah.
And like that goes on for a little while.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So after this, like, Lorgar is reunited with his legion. They get renamed to the Word Bearers, like the bearers of the word.
Okay.
And they had a name before this. I have it here. It is where is it? The Imperial Heralds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not that much different. Still sort of the same.
Their main, like, so basically it wasn't really hard for Lorgar to fit in how he did things into them, because they were very much like, they would be told to go out into the universe and deliver the word of the Emperor.
Yeah.
They would be like, like, have you heard, like, we are of the Imperium. Do you
have a moment to talk about our Emperor?
They would knock on the planet's door and be like, "Have you got a moment to talk about the Emperor?" kind of thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
He would be reunited to them, and there wouldn't be too much he would have to improve upon.
Okay.
There is one issue that was raised about him joining his legion, though.
What would that be?
It took them forever. To bring planets into compliance.
Well, yeah, because if they're just being like, "Hey."
Well, this is the thing: is they would go to a planet and they would be like, "Have you heard the good word?" And the planet would be like, "Get on one, go away. No, we're good. We're good with the gods that we have." And they're like, "Well, that is a shame." And then they would raise the planet to the ground.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Okay. So they would genuinely be like that. We do not want to shed blood. And they'd be like, and then people would be like, "Ugh." And they'd be like, "Time to shed blood." So they would try and bring them into compliance the good way, like, politics, all that sort of stuff. But they would be trying to push their religion onto people,
right?
And their religion was the one true God, was the religion of the Emperor.
Yeah.
So what would happen is they would bring planets into compliance, and then they would stick around for a while,
right?
And it's because they were trying to convert people to this religion.
Okay.
And it takes a long time to convert people who already have had a religion
for eons.
For a period of about 5,000 years, remember?
Yeah.
Because this is, 4,000 and a bit.
Yeah.
Because that's like the period of time. So, like, you got to remember that, like, Christianity popped up where it is now in a period of about 2,100 to 2,500 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that.
Yeah.
It took a longer than that. So it took a long time for Christianity to be what it is today. And I'm using Christianity as the main one.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was raised with. Anyway, and that's the thing is, like, it took Christianity a long time to be kicking around and stuff.
Yeah.
From the Age of Strife to the Great Crusade is a period of 5,000 years.
Yeah. So they'd be even more cemented in their ways.
Yeah.
Like they'd had twice the amount of time.
Yeah, so it's like, think of like religions have popped up, the offsets have popped up, the offsets have been killed off by the other religion, like the main religion, and that main religion is, standing up and stuff like that. Exactly. If they came into contact with a planet that has religion. Not all planets have religion, obviously.
True enough.
But like, they're trying to push religion on people who either don't believe in a god,
yep,
already have a god to believe in, or are just so uninterested that they're like, dude, no.
Yeah, they just literally, quite frankly, do not care.
Exactly. Or they live in like a monarchy and the king is God kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they go there and they're like, religion. Anyway, burn it to the ground, start again.
Yeah.
So that's what they do, is they burn it to the ground, get rid of all remnants of the old religion or the old regime, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then they stick around and they start building religion. They start building faith, building temples, palaces, libraries, all of these things.
And it's going to be like for people to want to, or not even to want to, but to start believing in what the people who have just destroyed their entire planet want them to believe in. I feel like people would probably be like, yeah, they do it because they have no other choice and they're scared, but also they're not going to want to be very compliant.
Yeah, no. And like, to give you an idea of like this time scale this is, compliance on a world usually goes from anywhere from a day to 6 months.
Okay.
With some worlds in compliance, like sometimes it'll take like a good few years.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But that's like non-stop fighting.
Right.
Like in the Alpha Legion book in the Horus Heresy, I can't remember the name of it, but it takes them like the way they planned it would have taken them 3 weeks to bring a planet into compliance. But because of the arch resistance of the planet, it took them like almost 2 years, from what I remember.
Right.
It might be shorter than that, but from what I remember, it took them almost 2 years.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. No, because the book is set 2 years before the Horus Heresy. So it takes them a long time. It might have taken them about a year.
Okay.
It might have taken them about a year to bring it into compliance, which is long.
Yeah.
So bringing a planet into compliance in a year is a long time. But a lot of the time it's excused because it's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of resistance from the planet and stuff like that. But also it might just be by the tactics of the Legion and stuff like that. Because like, you have the Alpha Legion who are all about like secrecy and doing it in like keeping in the shadows and stuff like that and trying to bring the planet down from within.
Yeah. Or
you have the Raven Guard who are trying to do it by stealth and, get it done quick out of the way by dismantling the politicians and all that sort of stuff down on the down low. And it's like, oh, by the way, you're compliant now.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? How did that happen?
Where did you come from? I came from the shadows.
I am a knight. And then they like disappear. Or you have like Comrade Kurz, who basically just who go and they knock out a place in a day and they go, okay, you guys are going to be compliant, or you are going to end up like these people that we just turned into pink mush in the ground.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things and stuff like that, but that's all warfare, and that's why the Emperor's fine with it. That's why the Emperor's chill with it.
Yeah.
The Emperor's not very chill when the Emperor, who is very against organized religion, starts seeing you building organized religion on the planet you're supposed to be bringing into compliance. Yeah. So the Emperor...
It's like they're already compliant, but you're sticking around and wasting time.
Yeah. Because the Emperor is not a bad man.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but he's not a bad man in certain ways.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that all of the Primarchs were raised differently.
Yes.
They all came from different planets and stuff like that. So
he's gracious.
He's gracious. He gives them leeway. So when he's like, oh, Leman Russ, take your knights into battle and, fight them head on.
Yeah.
Corvus, do your sneaky stuff. Conrad,
go do your stuff. I don't want to know what you're doing.
Don't tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or like Mortarion, like Mortarion, go wear him down. That sort of stuff. Yeah. He's very fine with them using their own tactics, using their own fighting styles that they learned on their world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he kind of gives them some leeway. He gives them a little bit of leeway of being like, okay, you're bringing them as compliance. I don't like this religion thing that you're doing, but I can let it slide.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
But then that time's going to run out.
Yeah. So Lorgar, he's extremely devout, and he has his legion going out and doing this on every world that they bring into compliance.
Of course.
And after a while, after a while, they started to become more of missionaries than they did of warriors.
Okay.
And they were preaching the word to planets and stuff like that. And they were starting to get away with a lot more stuff, or trying to get away with a lot more stuff.
Right.
They were building more temples than fortresses. They were building more, reliquies of religious knowledge than they were building libraries of the Imperium.
Right.
They were building more, churches and strongholds, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah.
And so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth. So the Emperor started to notice that Lorgar's side of the Great Crusade started to slow down a bit.
Right.
He started to get word of a little thing called the Lectitio Divinitatis.
Okay.
The Lectitio Divinitatis is the Bible.
Right.
And that's not me being like, oh, it's like the Bible, or it's Bible-esque. The Lectitio Divinitatis is the Bible. It is the Warhammer Bible.
Okay.
It's essentially, so you know that in 40k, because we're in 30k right now, in 40k how they're all religious zealots and stuff like that.
Yes.
The Imperium doesn't want people to know that the traitor Primarch Lorgar wrote the Bible that they're giving to people to tell them that the Emperor is a god. That's how much of a refined piece of knowledge seeing the Emperor as a god this thing was. It lasted 10,000 years.
Right.
Being the Bible of the people. So he had wrote the Lectitio Divinitatis, and basically in this point said outright, because he had never said it outright in writings, he had never said it outright in front of the Emperor and stuff like that. It was more inferred, oh, you're the great being that I have come across, kind of thing. I'm no god, that kind of thing. This is the first time that he is declared en masse that the Emperor is a divine being.
Right.
And the book started to get out a little bit. In the first Horus Heresy book, they actually talk about a saint being born.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking full divine power saint being born. But it also might be a psyker thing.
True.
It's probably a psyker projecting their power as divine light, but that's just the devout blood angel in me.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all have our things.
Yeah. After a while, as I said, the Emperor gets wind of this.
Of course.
And he goes to Lorgar and he goes, you need to stop.
Right.
Very seriously, he's like, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing. And so people started to catch word that, people see the Emperor as a god. Should I see the Emperor as a god? So the Emperor's kind of trying to squash this. His legions are squashing it. They're kind of union busting a whole bunch of religious gatherings of these meetings of the people reading the Divinitatis.
Right.
And this is where it gets kind of sad. And this is why our episode is about to be cut short.
Right.
Because we're about to talk about the raising of Monarchia.
Oh, goody.
Yes. So
let me guess, it was a monarchy?
No, Monarchia was Jerusalem.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember I said that Jerusalem was on a different planet?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
So the Emperor is getting pissed off, and he is rightfully so getting annoyed with Lorgar.
Fair enough.
And he starts sending missions to the planet that Lorgar has already brought into compliance.
So now they're having to
No?
No?
He is recognizing that, Lorgar is kind of taking a step backwards here.
Right.
And yes, as you're about to say, and I rudely interrupted, the Emperor's like, well, we're going to have to reteach him. We're going to have to basically do compliance again on these planets because of how devout the people are to the Lectitio Divinitatis.
Right. So
the Emperor is kind of annoyed.
Fair enough.
To put it lightly. And he didn't want to believe it at first. That's why he kept sending missions to the planets that Lorgar had brought into compliance, because he was like, this can't be true.
Yeah.
One of my sons who has learnt from me cannot be doing this. He can't be. So let's find out if he is. So he finds out that he is. The Emperor calls one of his most trusted sons to his side. One of his most loyal leaders. One of his biggest tools, you could say. Gilliman.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, but he does this. He did this for a reason, because he wanted. The Emperor wanted this to be quick, and he wanted it to be fast, and he wanted it to be simple, and he didn't want it to be what Russ would do to Magnus.
Okay.
Because as much as Leman Russ was one of his good ones and was like the Emperor's executioner, he was sloppy. He was violent. He was very barbaric.
Yeah.
The Emperor didn't want to do that to one of his own sons.
So he just wanted, his plain...
His plain Jane son,
his plain Jane get her done son.
Yeah, he wanted him to get her done.
Get her done, buddy.
So he takes Guilliman, and he takes Malcador the Sigillite, and he takes some of his custodes, and they build a little legion that is completely filled with Ultramarines and Custodians.
Okay.
So very, very, very disciplined warriors.
Yes.
And they go there, and they go to a planet called Kur.
Okay.
Or Kahur, if you want to be that way. Kahur is like I said, is their Jerusalem.
Right.
It's their religious planet, and they have a city on there called Monarchia. Monarchia is, like I said, their Jerusalem.
It is their Jerusalem.
It is a planet of devout religion. It is a planet of them being like, this is where we can go to worship their god.
Right.
If the people from the worlds they were to go brought into compliance were to go on a pilgrimage, they would go on a pilgrimage to Kur.
Right.
It was their Jerusalem. So the Emperor, in his infinite wisdom, decided, I'm going to destroy that. He razed Monarchia to the ground. And
Great idea.
I mean raised it to the ground.
Like
there was
nothing.
No roads, no buildings, no remnants of what the city used to be.
Right.
It was a pile of ashes when the Emperor and Guilliman and Malcador and the Custodes were done with it.
Great idea.
Oh, wonderful idea.
Fantastic.
Oh, it gets even better.
Oh, goody.
Do you want to know what he does after that?
I would love to know.
He forces Lorgar's legion and Lorgar to kneel in the ashes of their city and dresses them down like has never been done before. He basically goes to them and he goes, all right, listen up. I've been trying to tell you this for the past couple of years or so.
Yeah.
I am no god. You are not my prophets.
Yeah.
You do not speak my word. I am the emperor of mankind. I am no god. I am no deity. I am no man higher above you. Yeah. I am a man just like you are, and that's all you are. Men who serve me. And then he just leaves.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
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 Insane.
And and this is the thing. Lorgar went into a deep depression.
Yeah, fair enough.
And this is 40 years before the heresy that all of this happens.
So he has 40 years to stew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goody.
Well, and he starts praying.
Of course.
He starts praying because his god has left him.
Yeah.
So he's like, what is my life? I've devoted my life to this. I am useless now.
Right.
And he starts praying, and he starts opening his mind up to the universe. And he starts to hear whispers.
Of course.
He starts to hear whispers telling him that he can be given everything he wants. He can be given gods to follow.
Right.
And that's where the episode's going to end.
Oh my god.
Yes. Because after this...
It's just straight headfirst into chaos.
Lorgar goes on his pilgrimage through the realms of chaos. Wow. So he meets with Tzeentch, he meets with Slaanesh, he meets with Nurgle, he meets with Tzeentch. Korn. With Korn. Did I say Tzeentch twice?
Yeah. I said welcome twice, you said Tzeentch twice, we're even.
Yeah. But that's another thing, going into the Tzeentch part here and stuff like that. This is another reason why the Tzeentch controlling everything theory, or the Chaos Gods controlling everything theory, is so interesting, because they corrupted some of the Primarchs. Yeah, you have Sanguinius's wings, you have Conrad's visions. Yeah, you have all of those things. Vulcan having dark skin and landing on Nocturne, where the people mostly have black skin. Yeah. Angron landing on a planet which would groom him into becoming the Demon Prince of Khorne kind of thing. Yeah. That's why the Tzeentch and the Chaos God Corruption one is so pertinent.
Right.
Because Lorgar would have had to landed on this planet, learn religion, learn about the Emperor, learn all of this, be brought down by the Emperor, lose his religion, and then fall to the Chaos Gods, all naturally.
Right.
Which realistically a Primarch should never do.
Because it's not in their genetic. That's not what the Emperor wanted.
That's not what the Emperor wanted of them. So Lorgar had to have been corrupted in pod.
Right.
By the Chaos Gods to be susceptible to religion.
Right.
And then do all of that stuff and then go to the Chaos Gods and be like, give me power.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so interesting, because it's very much the thing of like, it's all planned.
Yeah.
Because it just can't not be. Especially when you look at Lorgar and everything that he does.
Yeah.
And especially when you look at the fact that the Alpha Legion, a little bit of a spoiler alert for the Alpha Legion before here, especially considering the Alpha Legion do everything that they do because they know that the Horus Heresy is going to happen already.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well, is it's a part of some great universal plan, or it's not.
Right.
And that's the thing, is it kind of has to be, given what Lorgar goes through.
Because then nothing else, the pieces can't fall into place.
Exactly. Because Lorgar, this is the thing, is the heresy could still go on.
Right.
But they would never get corrupted by chaos. They would never accept chaos into their hearts.
They would just be on a different warpath.
Exactly. If Lorgar had never been corrupted by chaos, Erebus would have never gone around the legions and been sowing the seeds of dissent from within.
Right.
Erebus would have never convinced the Mournival to take Horus when he's injured to this chaos-rich planet to go underneath this thing that would eventually cause him to turn to chaos.
Right.
None of that would have happened if Lorgar hadn't have fallen to chaos.
Right.
Yeah. Which is so insane when you look at it that way.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Because, Fulgrim would have still fallen to Tzeentch. Not Tzeentch. Fulgrim would have still fallen to Slaanesh. He still would have been possessed by the demon. Well,
yeah.
Fulgrim would have still fell to Slaanesh. Would have still fallen to Slaanesh. Angron probably would have got recruited by Khorne somewhere down the line.
Absolutely.
The Death Guard would have never got corrupted by Nurgle.
Yeah.
But the seeds of doubt in Mortarian's mind would still be there nonetheless.
Right.
But it's Lorgar that made all of these fall to chaos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the Lorgar heresy.
No.
No, still definitely not.
Yeah,
but
no.
If there wasn't the butterfly effect of Lorgar happening, then it wouldn't have played out the same at all.
Not at all, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But with that being said, this is the end of our rather short episode on Lorgar.
Yes, it is.
So thank you guys once again for listening. Again, if you are listening to this on the Instagram, But if you did come from the Instagram and you are watching this on YouTube, or if you are watching on Spotify, thank you so much for coming across and listening.
Thanks.
Very, 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 very thanks. We just like doing this. And if you did come from Spotify, go across to YouTube, give it a watch. If you are on YouTube, go across to Spotify, give it a listen. Download, like, subscribe, all of those things. Add a comment if there's something you want to talk about. I know Lorgar is a very sticky one. If I got anything wrong, please berate me in the comments. But aside from that, that's it.
I think that should be it. Yeah. And if you're from YouTube and Spotify and you haven't checked out the Instagram, go ahead. We've got reminders on when we're updating and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And more to come as we have more to
talk about
and put up and etc.
Because roadmap. After the Primarchs are done, we are going to be talking about the Horus Heresy.
Yes.
And who knows, we might talk about Lorgar's pilgrimage through chaos during that time. So
we'll do heads up and I don't know if we'll do sneak peeks, but we'll do heads up for sure.
We'll do a little bit
teasers
of sneak peek, because it's going to be a sneak peek for you as well.
Yes, exactly. I have absolutely no idea what's coming up. I have not a clue.
Get ready to be sad.
Yeah.
And get ready for some of the coolest battles in all of 40k.
Yes.
But anyway, aside from that, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.